Hey everyone, I wanted to provide you with a little short video as you move from your first videotape session. I say videotape, though clearly it's not 1997, and you're not videotaping anything for me, but your first recorded session, and you move into the next one. Finished grading everybody's, and I think overall everybody did a nice job. I know the first one can be anxiety provoking, and you're kind of getting back into the swing of role playing with people, having yourself on film doing it, and so nerves are understandable for that first session. So please make sure to look at not only the rubric that I completed for the grade, but also the feedback that I gave for each of you. And if you have any questions, as always, you can get in contact with me via email on my office hours. I'm happy to elaborate a little bit more if you want some additional feedback on my office hours as well. Things that I just generally am not going to care about and wouldn't care about if I were supervising you in an actual work setting or not. I understand everybody is doing this. The majority of you were able to do it virtually, or we're doing it virtually, and some of you are able to do it in person. So for those that are, even if you're doing it in person, you guys are doing this in your home. I don't care about dogs. I don't care about cats. I don't care if a package is delivered. I don't care if kids are screaming at you. So these are the things that are a new reality for us. And I think that your generation of graduating counselors, getting people that are getting into the field, are probably going to have to deal with these issues more than any other graduating class that we've had in the professional field of counseling before. So it's just a way of life. What I would be looking for in those instances is how much of a distraction and how it throws you off if something like that occurs. And so what I encourage you to do, if there is something that is outside of our control as life happens, and we're recording these role plays, right? If there is something that happens, go ahead and acknowledge it in whatever way you feel like you need to, and then to the best of your abilities, move past it. So I hope that it doesn't distract you, because things like that are going to happen in real life. I can attest to that. So just get used to it. Especially if you're going into practicum next semester, you're probably going to be doing some things virtually, and so you just have to kind of roll with it whenever you've got a tiny little creature, or human, or whatever it might be, interrupting the space, the headspace that you're in. So those are things that I don't necessarily care about. You're not going to find me grading you on the fact that a cat walked across the screen. If anything, I might just say, hey, tell me what your cat's name is. So that's one thing to think about. Another thing, I understand that again, recording yourself can be anxiety provoking. And so one thing to consider and think about if you're doing it virtually, or if you're doing it in person, recording it on your laptop or phone or whatever, go ahead and start the recording. Start some rapport with your mock client, because that's what happens in real life. I mean, how weird would that be if you walked into a counselor's office, or you had a real client come into your office, you didn't say a word until you sat down in each other's chairs, and then you looked at each other and said, well, hello, how are you doing today? I mean, that's not how life works. So if you need to have a minute, I don't need to see it. You can edit it out thanks to technology. Just cut off the first couple of minutes. You can edit that part out where you're just kind of getting yourself settled into the moment and getting yourself grounded and present in that moment with your role play. As we move into the second, third, and fourth sessions, remember that I want you to start incorporating some of the techniques that are coming along with the theories that you're learning about. So try some things out. I know I've said this before, I'll say it again, and I'm probably going to start commenting on it. Those are the things I want you to be reflective about in your paper. I want you to tell me what perspective you were thinking about using during that session. How did it work? Did it not work? What techniques did you use in the second and third session especially? Try these things out. It's important for you to try them out, one, because you need to try these things out as part of your learning process, but two, because they help fill the space when you're working with a client. They help provide direction and guidance to you as the counselor. And so if you're using techniques, if you're pulling out a worksheet, if you're reviewing homework and rechecking on establishment of goals and progress towards goals, those things help fill the space. And so you want to try them out, you want to get used to it. That's why, when we do the intakes, I constantly say keep reviewing those confidentiality statements so that it becomes second nature, so that it's not it doesn't feel as awkward when you're doing it in real life, because those are things you'd have to do in real life. Food for thought with that as you move into the next sessions. Be prepared. This is a job. Counseling is a job. Yes, it's a job where we work with people and we work with emotions and feelings, and we get connected to clients in a way that no other profession, I think, does. But it's still a job at the end of the day, and anybody should be prepared for the job that they're doing and the work that you're doing, and you should be critical of the work that you're doing. And so get yourself into the practice and the habit of being prepared to do the work, because it's work for you. In the same kind of vein, remember, as you go through with your clients, you don't need to be doing all the work for them. And that comes into the role play sessions as well. You should never be working harder than your client as the counselor. If you are, you need to take a step back and think, why am I working harder than my client? Your client is the one that needs to be putting in the work and the effort to achieve their goals. And we give them the space to do that. We provide them with guidance depending on our theoretical orientation or integration of theoretical orientations, whatever it may be. So we're helping guide them towards that end goal that they've set. But ultimately, they're establishing those goals. They're the ones doing the work. They're the ones leaving our offices and going out and living their lives, and having the tools, ideally, that we are helping them develop in the counseling session in that short 50 minutes, to be able to continue to live their life without needing to come back and see us. So don't work harder than your client, even in the role plays. And I think another big takeaway that goes across the board for all of you, and I wanted to say this in a video medium as opposed to writing it in feedback, because it's a little bit hard to explain. Yes, counselors, we take a positive stance. We are a strength-based profession, and so we are always trying to pull those strengths out of our clients, get them to see that they have these innate strengths and areas that are within themselves that they can go to and depend on whenever they need to make some changes in their lives. Yes, so we have and adopt and should continue to have a positive attitude towards our clients, right? But at the same time, even in an intake session, things happen to our clients that are just shitty. Life happens, and it's not good, and it's not pretty, and it's unpredictable. And if our response to our clients telling us the worst things that are happening to them is, well, great, you did this though, and what about this? And oh, that's really great. Like, the amount of times I hear the word great, not everything is great. And so remember to validate those feelings, the negative reactions, the negative expressions that our clients are bringing to us about things that are happening in their life that aren't good. And even though there are these little things that are positive that we can pull from bad experiences, and we should be able to pull from bad experiences, and we want our clients to be able to see that good things can still come from bad experiences, we have to be able to acknowledge that not everything is great all the time. And especially right now, things have happened to everybody globally that aren't great, and everybody is struggling in their own unique way, and some more than others, and some in different ways than others. And so I don't want to see you guys gloss over that, and the fact that COVID has had an impact even within role plays, okay? So don't gloss over those moments. Make sure to validate those feelings that your clients are bringing. When shitty things happen to them, you have to acknowledge that, yes, that was crappy. And you do it in a way that's empathetic and shows unconditional positive regard and support. And then, you use whatever the resulting situation was, to help shape or direct the goal, ideally, that you're reaching, right? But we don't just kind of gloss over everything and say, all right, well, I think that it's great that you're doing this though, and it's great that you're, still able to get in your car and go drive around. Well, what about that thing that the person just had to leave behind, right? So don't forget about that part of it. And that's why I wanted to say it in video, because it's hard to say that in words. Stop being so positive. I'm not going to tell you to stop being so positive, right? I'm going to tell you to continue to maintain a positive attitude, and I don't want you to lose that. But you have to be able to validate even the worst of the worst feelings and experiences that our clients bring to us, because believe you me, they will bring some bad experiences. In the first 5 seconds of meeting somebody, you might hear, during an intake session, You know, the reason that they're coming to see you is because the worst things have happened to a client. And you don't get to just say, okay, well, it's great that you made it through that. Let's talk about your work history now. So, you know, that's my piece on that. So with that, and remember, just provide some reflection about your experience within the paper. You know, again, I'm looking for improvement as we progress through the semester. And I think I might even have you guys rewatch some of these tapes at some point because I think it'd be good for you, especially because a lot of you are doing them virtually through the Zoom recordings and whatnot. And so I think it would be good to be a little bit critical of what that looks like because that's probably, again, what you if you're going into practicum anytime soon, you're probably going to be doing some virtual work as well. So I want to make sure that you guys are prepared to do that to the best of my abilities. So if you have any questions about the feedback, any comments, again, reach out to me, and I look forward to seeing the next round of videos.